Doctor Who, Season 1, Episode 4, 73 Yards. So that was a trip. That
This one just
Yeah.
felt weird.
was a Dr. Light episode. Bit like Blink.
Or Love and Monsters.
And it's just Doctor shows up, in one, right at the beginning and right at the end. Everything else is kind of in the middle.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, they didn't have to pay the doctor actor that much this time around.
I'm sure he's got a fixed thing.
He's probably salaried.
Yeah, it's like he may get paid per episode, but not based on how much he's in the episode. It's like, am I in the episode? Yep. Okay, you're getting paid. There might be even a base pay, and then he gets paid per episode from there on. But yeah, this was another actually pretty low, other than the travel, which actually wasn't that bad because they're probably based out of Wales, so going out.
They're based out of Cardiff.
Yeah, they're based out of Cardiff, so there's not really, it wasn't that extravagant a travel. It's like, oh yes, we're just going from Cardiff to the coast.
Also, later on, that chick lives in the same house for 40 years. And it's a flat.
Yeah.
God damn.
Well, she probably
I really hope it's rent controlled.
I was gonna say that was my next thought, was maybe she got it rent controlled, and it's like, you know what? I'm not moving anywhere. I'm just gonna stay here, so nothing weird happens with the 73 yards person. It's like nothing weird happens. It's.
You see, I understand where she's coming from with the, I don't want to go overseas just in case, blah, blah, blah. But I'm going to be honest, I would have.
Yeah. So there's nah, they just look out the window, she's just floating in the air. It's like, what the hell?
Or, just find a ship that's 73 yards or longer and then go by ship.
Yeah.
Although, honestly though, I could think of a lot of uses for that creepy old lady that I guess turned out to be her, but yeah. And that would be, hey, I have a stalker that's not leaving me alone. Hey, go talk to that person out there, and I'll do things with you tonight. Like, okay, they just run away. Yeah, so many uses.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the block button for reality.
I know.
Yeah.
Right.
Although you know what he was doing with that one intern.
Yeah. That was
oof. The implication there, just by the tone of it and stuff, it's like, you know exactly what was going on.
Yeah, it was really well written because it didn't have to be explicit to really
sell it.
To sell what was going on. You know what was going on. They're not explicit about exactly what went on, but
as you said, he's a monster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it was good to make it family friendly. At the same time, adults understood it at a whole different level.
Yeah. To a kid, oh, he's just very mean in private. And then to the adults, the adults in the room are like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I know what that means.
Yeah.
Yep, that guy is a piece of garbage.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Especially that line with, he asked for you specifically for the party.
Yeah. It's like
that made my skin
and just the way she looked back when just her reaction on that's some good acting. She's yeah, this She didn't. They didn't have to spell it out. She just what he said. Like he was asking you specifically for the party, and the way she reacted to it was enough. It was
Yeah, you
enough to
just knew exactly.
you know exactly what he was about, and you're like, oh, okay. Not only is he crazy with the nukes, he's also yeah, he's
He's
also a piece of
also a
garbage.
complete pig.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a piece of garbage.
Yeah.
I was gonna. Okay, which that actually brings
And
up the question though. Since for these best terms I can think of, since everything went back to the beginning, right? Does that mean he's still going to be, was it prime minister or whatever it was, or some?
Um. Yeah. There is time to stop it though. Like
Okay, yeah, I guess they'd
it's
have to
still
figure out why.
potentially going to, but there's still time to stop it from happening.
Okay.
yeah, but he also said that the doctor also said that it was he nearly did it, so somebody stopped him. So
Okay.
technically, he could actually come back later in the run, and they are the reason that it doesn't happen. And she didn't remember any memories from that timeline. That timeline
Yeah,
essentially
she
didn't
didn't. It
exist.
it never happened.
Well, she kind
Yeah,
of did, like subconsciously, because she said, "I've been here like 3 times." It's like, oh, I guess right now was so maybe like subconsciously she remembered, but not like actually
Maybe.
remembered.
yeah. It may be a bit like it's a bit like the Doctor. Whenever there's a multi-Doctor story, it's like only the eldest remembers what happened, because
Yeah.
otherwise it screws with the timeline.
Mhm.
Yeah, timey
So
wimey bullshit.
yeah, that's why at the end in Day of the Doctor, War Doctor doesn't remember. He just as far as he knows, he did the moment, and that's what caused everything. And then 10, same thing. He thinks War did it, and that's all he can. He can't retain it because though it is interesting in that I guess because 11 was he remembers making the decision, and then but 12 was technically there for the ceiling, so he would be the eldest, but I don't know. uh, but usually that's how it works: is that the eldest retains, and everybody else just sort of just to make sure the timeline isn't polluted. It's like you just can't retain it. Which is a nice way to write it out. It's like, how do you explain this? It's just a property of time travel. You just can't retain it. But yeah, they could very well like do that, and it's also it's also a way of sort of in a subtle way commentating on the kind of people some politicians are without having
Yeah.
to actually without just having a Trump's you know
Instead of
you
just
know
Trump bashing with a Trump substitute, a
yeah
Trumpstitute, one might say.
Hey, I'm fine with
Um.
bashing all politicians.
well
Yeah.
yeah it's just
It's
it's
all politicians, but like especially the ones with the nukes and stuff, because like all the psycho ones. I do appreciate. I do find it amusing, the whole the Russian war thing comment. The
but
fact that took place in 31, so we got 5 more years of this bullshit.
I
well
mean,
7 but
let's just hope that Doctor Who doesn't turn out to be good at telling the future like The Simpsons is, because fuck.
well that's a more of a throw enough at the wall, something's going to stick. If you do
Yeah,
enough things, eventually you're going to predict something just by sheer randomness.
yeah.
Or you're going to influence the future by somebody seeing you do something like Star Trek and the Communicator. That inspired the flip cell phone. So, or the cell phone in general, and then the flip cell phone. Like, maybe it doesn't exist as quickly as it did in our timeline if Star Trek doesn't do that. So sometimes it's a self-fulfilling sort of thing, and sometimes it's just you do enough stuff and you last long enough on TV. Eventually, just randomly, you're going to predict something.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I'm kind of curious. So, what the lady said to all of them? It's like, if you run away from her, I'll give you £5.
No, I don't think that, because why would her mom have run away?
That's a sad something.
I don't know.
I mean, at least she
But
came back, but it's like, yeah, I changed the locks, which was very fast. I mean, damn.
It doesn't take long to change locks.
Yeah, but she had to like go, buy the new locks, come back, and
Yeah,
all
but
that
she
stuff.
was gone for a while. She could have
True.
been waiting outside for her to go shopping, saw that she was going shopping, ran back in, changed the locks. Literally all you got to do is a quick knob change. You're good. It takes like 5 minutes to change the locks.
True. And okay, I know this is like I'm not this isn't like complaining, it's just something funny I noticed. So apparently Ruby carries her passport with her.
what do you mean?
I'm pretty sure she went from Gladstone or whatever she was to a different country.
That's still part of the United Kingdom.
Wales is part of the UK. She never left
Yeah.
the island.
Wales is still part of Great Britain. They're still under the same control.
Yeah, I'm used to the States where now you need a special ID. Well, you're gonna need a special ID just to travel through states.
What?
Yeah, real ID is becoming a thing. Like,
I don't even have a fucking ID. Like, I literally don't even have my state ID anymore. I don't know where it went.
But yeah, there's more stuff. You have to give them more information. Like, they have to have more stuff on file. But then you get a gold star on your ID, and then you're good. I've had one for as long as I think I've had an ID, because I got all that stuff done when I got mine. So I've had a real ID for as long as I can remember. Yeah, but no, yeah, the island is Great Britain, and it has England, Wales, and Scotland on it, and the UK is England, Wales, Scotland, and Northern Ireland, plus a smattering of islands and some other little territories that are a Commonwealth, but the main part of the UK is there. So yeah, Wales is just the western part, like sort of northern England on the west is where it's sort of the side that's nearest Ireland. But yeah, so that's the Welsh. Like, the one thing is, like, the people at the pub is like making fun of her for, like, she asked, "Can I pay with my phone? I don't have my stuff." And it's like, then she pulls it out from under the thing. It's like, yeah, she was asking because you didn't have it up on the bar, so she couldn't see it. So she was asking. You think we're all backward here? It's like you don't have it on display, so I don't know that you don't have it right next to the up and about and ready for the tilly
Yeah,
like it looks
not
like.
a lot of people, and not everybody does accept mobile tap.
Yeah,
Some people you need a card or
yeah.
cash.
And generally, not always, but generally, the more rural you are, the less you accept.
Exactly.
Not to say that you can't, because obviously she can, but it's generally the
And I
rules.
think they were being, being rude to her because clearly she believed that stuff. She was reacting like she believed it, which
Yeah,
means how do they know she wasn't superstitious?
yeah, and
Because there are superstitious people who believe in like magic and like
yeah,
fairy folk and stuff.
and for her, all sorts, she's doing all sorts of
She's
crap
seen all
already.
sorts of shit.
Yeah,
So,
with the doctor, so it's like her window for believing stuff is a little wider than most people. It's like
yeah,
goblins,
so she wasn't
yeah,
making
well, yeah, yeah, those exist.
yeah,
The
so she
fuck she
wasn't
said?
making fun of them. They were making fun of her.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I,
they're nice people.
I
yeah,
mean, they are Welsh.
And it's like, big spender, are we?
it's like, yeah, and it's good for her that they basically ended up dropping her basically about her own time.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Otherwise, can I pay with my phone? With your phone?
Yeah,
Would
that
they
that
hand
was
us a
the first
phone?
thing. That was the first thing I thought when they did that. Like, did she land in some sort of pass?
Yeah,
Did they land in the past? She's fucked.
yeah. Did they land in the '90s and they have no idea what she's talking about?
And for
But
all she knew, they did because that was her reaction. Like, crap. Did you
yeah, because she can't use her phone as a signal of whether like it doesn't have signal. It always has signal. The doctor hacked it to have signal, so like she always has signal. So like that's not an indicator.
exactly?
Uh, which begs the question: where the hell did the doctor go?
Locked up in his TARDIS?
I,
Working on his hobbies, like she said.
Yeah, pattering about.
oh, maybe yeah, maybe it was like maybe the lady first talked to the doctor and he just ran away to his TARDIS, and for some reason never started it up and left.
Maybe.
He's waiting for the whole thing to resolve. It's like, okay, I'll let her finish this timeline up.
Like, let's see.
I think it'll rotate back around eventually. I'll just wait it out.
Oh, okay.
I got some reading to catch up on.
Yeah, they have the name right. Kate Stewart, right? That's the name.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. She said a line that made me think of something. I'm trying to think exactly what she said. Something about like this timeline.
I'm on your same timeline.
Yeah, at the same time.
So in other words, the events that have affected her were affecting Kate and all of them.
Yeah, so it makes me think that maybe in the doctor stuff on the Ferris wheel and everything, it made like two different timelines.
Quite possibly.
Yeah, and then when she resolved the other timeline, it rotated back and
Yeah.
resolved everything.
Although she did start she did go by Kate Lethbridge Stewart this time, which I mean she the entire point of her going by Kate Stewart instead of Kate Lethbridge Stewart was because she didn't want to be seen as having nepotism. You know, the whole her
Yeah.
dad ran unit, and so all of a sudden, hey, it's okay.
Hello,
Yeah.
Clyde.
Or maybe she got over that and was like, I've been at the helm of the unit so long it doesn't matter anymore. like like everybody I've earned my, respect from everybody. They're like, yeah, everybody's like, no, she's good enough on her own. Like, that's not nepotism, that's just being really good at her job. Or as
Yeah,
good as you can be at that job.
saved
Oh,
the world enough times.
Yeah.
oh yeah, and I guess you don't actually need to be near her. You can even just hear her voice over the radio. Except it
Apparently,
doesn't work for Ruby though. She still couldn't hear it.
yeah, that was another like. Although a thing with that is you know the way Kate picked up this audio versus the way Ruby was going to is different. Like
I mean,
the
I would think it'd be easier to pick it up over a speakerphone than it is through a headset.
I mean it depends on the type of headset it is.
Yeah, true. It's like ask her, as I think they mean her over there.
It's like now I want to ask her.
It's like get off the lawn.
I wonder if that guy ever came back.
Uh, probably.
The one who ran off.
From the bar, from the
Oh.
pub.
Oh
Mm.
yeah, he probably did. I mean, her mother
Yeah,
technically came
she
back.
yeah, well, she told him, she told her that, you leave, get out, and so probably came back once she had left.
If you noticed on the his name was Josh, and at the end there was a thing that said like where the flowers and stuff were, like a little RIP Josh thing,
Hmm.
like a memorial for him.
Well,
Uh,
I mean, it's the thing is, it's a hard episode to, you know to talk about. I mean, we had sort of that. This time we're doing our political commentary, you know, not as blatantly, and obviously and clumsily as Chibnall. Like, yes, we could criticize this guy, but we're criticizing this activity and this thing that he's doing. We like, these things are bad, so we're criticizing them, and we're not just having a Trump pinata. Like, yes, you can criticize Trump, not saying that, but do so in a clever way instead of this sort of,
And criticize, like, why are you criticizing him?
yeah.
Criticizing him because he's an idiot? You're criticizing him because of this or that? Like,
Well, if he's an idiot, there's something he's doing that is showing you that he's an idiot. He's making a
exactly.
decision that's
Exactly.
it's an
So
idiot. You
what
have
is it
to,
that you're, it's not just Trump dumb. Like
yeah,
you have to criticize basically the caricature, not the whole
yeah,
person,
yeah. Don't, yeah, talk about what he is, what you don't like about him. Be very specific, but also be, in an allegory, so you're not just like, yes, it's thin. It can be thin. It can be thinly veiled, so you can clearly see what they're going for, but you don't actually just get a guy who looks and kind of acts like Trump and just throw him out there and say, "Oh, look at our commentary." It's like, that's not commentary. It's lazy. Like this.
It's
This
not
was smart.
mockery.
Yeah, this is smart. This is a smarter thing. Okay, here's an awful thing. You can see the way he treats, was it Marty? Like, you can see that you don't have to even have to say exactly what he does, but you can tell from her acting, which is great, exactly the kind of monster he is. And it's like, yes,
and
these are
not just Trump, because there is a lot of
yeah,
that.
yeah. It goes and that's the other thing is, if you just bash Trump, well, you're not getting to the root of what the problems of what you're criticizing of him are.
Exactly.
Okay, you don't like this about him.
Vacuum.
Yeah, now you can talk about, and that goes. You can have multiple different people that you can, instead of, oh yes, we are going after Trump. It's like, no, you can go after multiple politicians at once and say, oh yeah, well, look at how it, this guy did. Look how it affects her. There are people behind these stories, that the monstrous things that they do behind closed doors. Like, yes, these victims exist, and yes, these people exist, and yes, they're hurt by this, and you can see them. You can see them in Marty and what she's going through.
Exactly.
And it's like, yes,
how
this is the other side.
Oblivious that one dude was. That one organizer was. It's like, man, you're so lucky. He wants you at his party. It's like, no, I'm not lucky. He wants me at his party for a very bad reason.
Yeah. It's that sort of, we don't have to stick to bashing on that one guy. We may have things that he wants to talk about with that guy, but talk about the ideas instead of just the guy, because ideas last longer than that guy. We need, in 10 years, Trump may be irrelevant politically in terms of what, he might be dead, he might,
be in jail, he might be
yeah, we don't know what the future holds, but 10 years he may not be relevant. And so if your episode is just bashing this guy, it's like, you're going to date your show so much. And focusing on him, focus on why he's a problem, why you think he's a problem, what parts of what he does, the kinds of things he does is a problem. Go with that. It'll last much longer. It'll make your show more timeless. And if there's another guy that shows up with those sorts of ideas, then you can just, oh, yeah, we did that this episode. Go watch this episode. It covers that.
Exactly.
These things come in cycles, and they come in and out, and sometimes they'll happen here, and you'll happen here, and these sorts of things. And so it's not tied to one guy. It's tied to the ideas that make that guy what you don't want.
It doesn't happen in a vacuum, and in order to like, by specifying individuals, you just negate the whole point of allegory.
Yeah, it loses a lot. And so far we've had like really nice sci-fi allegory, and this is more of a, this is more this feels more like a fairy tale, or
Yeah, fairy tale.
sort of one of those sort of old tales that
Oh,
it feels like she was these sort of scary stories to tell in the dark sort of thing. It's that sort of thing, but like mixed with a little bit of political allegory in there too. Like you have, for the most part, the most of the episode is about her and dealing with this weird thing that's happened to her, but it's also about this guy and all the criticisms they're laying on this guy. And, it's, just, yeah, it's, like, it doesn't show you doesn't explain how they think you should deal with this guy, because nobody else has a 73-yard person that they can send at a rotten prime minister to make him run away and resign.
Give me a second. I'll go find a fairy circle and step in it.
but you can at least expose the kind of person some of these people are behind the scenes, and show and humanize their victims.
And I think that's the most important part of that.
Yeah.
Because especially with I guess it's not so recent anymore, but a lot of those like, what was his name, Kavanaugh or whatever, the judge who was about to become a sitting judge, and
he is a justice.
Yeah, but he was when he was about to, he had all those women come forward, and a lot of people were making light of it and being like, why did she wait until now? And it's like, it shows, it humanizes the victims, as opposed to just, oh, it's just another woman just wanting to get some attention. Because you can see that's absolutely not what was going on.
And that's in the kind of way that he would have played it if he'd stayed in, like, he may have run away from politics or just prime minister, but if he did, it's like, yeah, no, that's exactly how they would have handled her if she came forward about this sort of thing. It's like,
exactly. It's like,
and then you get to see that, these are, you need to humanize these people. Like, these people exist and they have gone through some stuff, and
that sort of stuff is really traumatic, and like, they need to have recognition, not just another face or another name to put with a face,
But yeah,
I guess the last thing is, artists should be able to make it snow. Sure you did, Granny. Sure you did. I know what that is. We had that when I was younger.
They had that when I was younger. It was called Clapper. Clap on.
I'm pretty sure that's actually before her time.
Yeah, I know.
Although now I'm wondering how old Ruby is.
18, I think, or 19. It said in the Christmas special, Church on Ruby Road.
Oh yeah, there's some of mine. Okay, I got a question. So we know.
No, damn it! I shook a tree instead of catching a wasp.
So we know why her mother, gave her the cold shoulder, but did her grandmother never ask for her? It's like, hey, where's Ruby?
Yeah, I think that her mom just like, don't say that name.
Yeah, and she would have been, like, she was already sort of older and bedridden, so her time might not have been that long anyway. So, like, she may have asked for a few years, and then at some point she passed, and then she never Like she couldn't ask that question anymore.
Yeah.
True. Trying to think of anything else in this very, very story-driven episode where a ton of stuff happened.
Yeah, this feels like something that belongs in a short story anthology. Like this could exist outside of Doctor Who on its own. It's just a really nicely written, like, short story.
Yeah, kind of like something from the
I told
Twilight
you.
Zone.
What?
Something like
I
from the Twilight Zone.
yeah, Twilight Zone.
I don't. Nah, I don't think I have anything more.
No, I'm good.
Okay. Then ending in. Oh,
Look,
goodbye, people. See you next week with whatever the next episode is called.
Dot Bubble, and that one is even more political allegory.
Okay.
Well, see you next
It
week, people. In 3, 2, 1.